So hello. So in this video we are going to make the fruits fall from the random baskets. For that, so let's create the another script, another new script, monobehavior script. So let's rename it as fruit drop manager. Okay. So let's create one empty game object, fruits drop manager. So let's reset this position and let's drag that script into the fruit drop manager. So these are, now we need to edit the script. Okay, so what we need first, actually we need, you can see there are lots of game objects. So we cannot create each and individual variable for storing the each fruit. So we have the concept of array. So to create the array, so let's make the serialized field. So let's make the game object, the array of the game object, and you can call it as fruits. So this fruits array will hold the all of the fruits we have. All right, and we also need the basket holder. For example, let's create one transform. All right, so transform basket holder. So if you go to the Unity, when you click on the fruit drop manager, you can see the fruits have some of the list of empty, and list is empty since we have not added any fruits game objects to here, and it is looking for the basket holder. So first let's give the reference of the basket holder here, and if you click on this lock panel, so for example let me show you. So if this is not in lock, so if I click, so it will change to each of it. But if I lock the inspector view and I am clicking to the another game object, but this one won't get changed. So it will create the easy for us to do work. So let's select all of the game objects and let's drag it to the this one. All right. What happened here? Okay, so this might be the bug. So we don't care about the bug, so it got refreshed. So we have we have just added the fruits array, all the fruits into the this fruits array. So so we need to drop the fruits from each of from any of the basket in a random way. So we have, in Unity we have random range. So this returns the float value. That means the float is mean and max, mean inclusive, and max is max inclusive. Means it returned a random float between the mean inclusive and the max inclusive. Both the lower and the upper bounds are inclusive. All right. So it also ranges like the mean inclusive and max exclusive. Means if you give the value between two numbers, for example in here, if you give to the 1 to 6, it will start from 1, but it will only returns the 5, not the 6. That means 6 is the exclusive number here. All right. So similarly in our games as well, okay, so we want to drop the fruit in a certain time, right? So let's create one timer. For example, serialize field float, drop duration, drop time equals to, for example, in each 3 seconds we are going to drop the fruit. So also let's create another variable called timer. So in the update method we are going to first choose the value, means, so let's create, for example, if timer is less than or equals to 0, all right, so we are going to instantiate or clone the fruits, and after that when the timer is less than 0 we need to reset the timer as drop time. So here, so let's first select the fruit. That means, so let's create one fruit index equals to random dot range starts from 0 to fruits dot length. So let's create another variable, basket index, the selected basket index, the random selected basket index, all right. So it's also start from the 0 to basket holder dot child count. So after that, so let's create that one transform object or transform variable. The selected basket will be equals to the basket holder dot get child basket index. Okay, so this will initialize as a selected basket. So now we are going to instantiate it. So let's use instantiate. So instantiate basically means, so let's search for the what does the instantiate means. So instantiate means if you want to initialize an object in Unity, means to create a clone of the existing game object. So in our project, so the existing game objects are the fruits, all right. So we are going to create the clone of this existing game object. So instantiate, so it will take few parameters. The first one is what you want to instantiate. We want to instantiate the fruit, right? So fruit index would be fruit index, all right. So comma, so in from which position, so we are going to spawn the fruits from the selected basket dot position, all right. So do you want any rotation? No, we do not want any rotation. Means if you select for the quaternion dot identity, it will instantiate the game object with no rotation. And do you want to set the parent of the game object? Yes, we want to set the parent of the fruits as the selected game object. Means we want to select the transform. Okay, so this will be our code for the fruit spawning from each of the basket in a random way. So let's see whether it will work or not. If I play, okay, so it spawned from first here. Okay, what happened? No, the another fruit did not came. Let's see again. first one came. Not the others. Oh, my bad. So we need to decrease the timer, right? So let's decrease the timer as time dot delta time by the very small amount. So sorry for that, I just forget. Sometimes error happen. Okay, so this one first came, the second one also came, right? The third one came, third one drops. Okay, so this looks perfectly, it is working perfectly, but I am getting some null reference error. Okay, so this is the error for the Unity side, so that's not our problem. So it is getting error from here. So but we don't need the timer to be seen from the inspector, so we can create it as private. All right, so if you create the private variable, so it won't be seen from the hierarchy. So okay, so this is good, but you know, you can also check some parameters. Okay, nice. Okay, so all of them are working so good. So either we can create a function, but that's okay for now. All right, since it is working perfectly and it is handling the fruit drops. So if we add the furthermore works here, we will definitely do it by using the methods. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.